Hey y'all, thanks for joining us. This video is going to be on parking, and we all want to know how to get to our port for the cruise. So we're definitely going to talk to you about where to go and how you get to your port to park. The second thing we're going to talk about is what if you're flying in? How are you going to get from the airport, George Bush International or Hobby International to your port? Don't want to mess that up. And then also, everybody wants to stay the night before at a hotel. So how are you going to get transported from your hotel to your cruise port?
Let's get into the video.
Hey y'all, it's Sean and KC, and we're on vacay mode, and today we're going to be talking about where to park at Galveston Port. So many of you guys want to know what's the first thing to do. The first thing you're going to do is go online and look up the Port of Galveston. And when you get online, it's going to be like a regular application. You're just going to fill out with your information, and you're going to choose. It's going to ask you where you're cruising to and what cruise you're on. So you're going to pick the cruise, and you're going to put in the date. It's going to be on the calendar, the date you're cruising out. So if it's a 4-day, you're going to be paying $55. And if you're doing a 7-day cruise, you're going to be paying $85. So you're going to go ahead and click fill out, put your credit card in and everything. And then when you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and print it out. Once you print it out, you're good to go. You prepay for your cruise. But a little secret is it's always better to prepay before you get there, because it'll save you $5 whole. $5 whole if you prepay before you get to the port parking.
Yeah, you want to make sure you prepay ahead of time, because the parking sometimes may be really full and you might not find anywhere to park, or it may be sold out. So make sure, you do it ahead of time, well in advance.
And I know I quote some prices, $55 and $85 for the longer cruise, but those prices are subject to change at any time. So these are just the prices that it is now.
Right.
And not only does the parking get filled really fast, they have multiple parking structures, a A, a B, and also a plaza. And a plaza one may be a little bit more expensive because you're going to be covered, under the covered, and people don't want their car getting rain and so forth while they're gone. So it's going to be just a little bit more expensive.
Good. So what we did was, when I dropped her off at the port, and when I went back to park, because the best thing to do is to, if you're driving a car or rent a car like that, what you're gonna do is what's the street? Harborside. But you're gonna drive down Harborside Drive and go into the entrance on 22nd Street. Because you're gonna see the ships. So make sure you drop, whoever your passenger is, off at the right ship. So you're not gonna be able to miss, where the ships are, because they're gonna be huge and right in front of you. So make sure, you look up and see the two ships, because normally there's Royal and also two Carnival cruise lines. So, you don't want to be dropped off at the wrong port, because you gotta walk all the way down to the next port, where you're gonna be embarking at. But what I did was, when I dropped her off with the luggage and everything, it's a lot easier to drop, your passengers off and drop the luggage off at the port. Do not, that's my recommendation. Do not park your car, and then wait for the shuttle and then load the shuttle up. Imagine, if you got 2 luggage per person, and you might have, your entire family. So that's 4. So imagine 8 luggage, putting, on the shuttle. So even though they may help you put it on the shuttle, it's like, that's a lot of work. But if you go to the port, you can get dropped straight off with the luggage and just drive the car to wherever port. Now, when you get over there to the port, over to the parking, I apologize for that. When you get over to the parking, there's two lots. There's lot A and there's lot B. On your paper, it should have the lot, but if not, because I found out that a lot of times they didn't have the lot on there. Ask the cashiers. There are cashier parking instructors out there. So, you'll see them walking around, you'll see a little booth and stuff like that where they, take your paper if you're already prepaid. They also do take cash, make sure you have cash because they do not take credit cards. So remember that. Do not take credit cards, so don't get stuck. Make sure you got some cash, or just prepay. It's a lot easier, $5, less. So when you get to the parking, ask them, where do I park? They're gonna say, the first thing they're gonna ask you is, what cruise line are you cruising from? Royal or Carnival? This is at the Galveston port. So make sure you let them know, because A lot may be Carnival or Royal, and B lot may be Carnival or Royal. So make sure you let them know so you can be parking in the right parking area. You don't want to be parking, because they're not going to let you park there. They're going to actually, redirect you. And imagine the day everybody's, embarking. It's going to be a lot of people out there parking and trying to find, their parking and stuff like that. So it's a hassle. So make sure you ask and know where, know your ship.
Yeah, you want to go smooth because your passenger, being me, is going to be waiting for you to get back. Right. So when you have a smooth transition, it's just easier that way. Correct.
Yep. And the thing is after you, what you're going to do is you're going to drive it to the port. Drive it to the parking. And it's not too far. It's right across the street from the cruise line. So, it's not inconvenience at all, but you cannot walk. Some people walk. Now, I've seen people park their cars and walk, but that's a pretty long distance. Imagine how long a cruise ship is, and that's double that. So don't do that. They have shuttles for you. They pull up like almost every 10 minutes. Yeah. They come around, rotating, dropping off, picking up, dropping off, picking up. So, when you pull up to the cashier, they're going to have a little small booth. They're going to be outdoors. You're going to hand them your paper. They're going to hand you a ticket to put in your window. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take that ticket and put it in your window. So, find a park. Normally they'll tell you where to park. They have guides, in the parking lot to direct you, where to park. So once you park, make sure you have everything you need. Once again, take all your ID, your phone, your charger, everything with you, because once again, once you in there, you got to go all the way back to that parking lot to get the stuff out of the car, or if you forgot something. So make sure you double check your car to make sure you have all your ID, all, your parking,
all your documents.
All your documents and everything that you need, before you leave your car. Okay, second thing, lock your car. Don't leave your car unlocked. Even though it's a trustworthy place, my car never got broken into, but they have so much rotation. They have people there watching your car. They wouldn't have, a parking there and anybody breaking in. So don't worry about anybody breaking in your car, because that's not going to happen.
But just be on the safe side. Yeah, go ahead and lock it.
Just be on the safe side. Yeah, lock your car. And don't leave nothing. Saying this expensive or something like that on the seats. Make sure, you put it away, put it on the floor, put it in the trunk or something like that, or just don't have it in the car at all. And so now we're done with the car. What you're gonna do is look out for the shuttle area. So my tip is when you talk to the cashier, ask them where did the shuttle meet up at. In the lot. Like that, so they can direct you, where the shuttles meet up. Normally you can see them coming in and out, rotating like that. And what we did was we stood in a certain area, they direct us like, you know, row 3 or row 2, and shuttles come down, and we just jump on the shuttle. And when I got on the shuttle, because I didn't have any luggage, you know what I'm saying, it was way, way easier. You know what I'm saying? You know, I dropped the luggage off with her, and all I had to do was just ride over there. It took less than probably 5 minutes to get over there.
Oh, yeah.
And once I got off, they just dropped you, you know, right in front of the ship that you need, because they're gonna ask you, you know, Carnival or Royal, you know, what ship, you know, you're going to, and they're gonna drop you right there, and then, you know, you're gonna pretty much get in line. But yeah.
Another benefit for dropping your passenger off a little bit early, sometimes the cruise can run a little bit late, and it can cause a line. So while he's parking the car and shuttling in, I'm in line waiting, because that line tends to get very long when there is a delay.
Yeah, and when you parking and waiting for the shuttle, just be patient. You know what I'm saying? The shuttle may take a little bit longer, because you got to remember, you got all these people waiting in line, you know, probably before you, probably 4 or 5 people, you know, they all getting on the same shuttle. And you might not be able to get on the first shuttle, but the ship is right there. You can see it. You're almost there. So just be patient. And if you like, you know, tip the person that's driving you, you know, on the shuttle. I mean, it's optional. They don't really push that, but, you know, we normally do. But, yeah. So that's one good thing about parking in Galveston.
And then you may have some friends coming in from out of town, because it is a cruise. So, you know, most of the time we get our friends together and see who want to go on a cruise and what have you. So when we have some friends come from out of town, they actually fly into George Bush International Airport. So we're in Houston, so we also have Hobby International Airport. So just so you know, they were wondering how they're going to get from the airport all the way to the port for the cruise, because guess what? George Bush International, if you don't know, is quite a distance. What, an hour and a half, 2 hours away?
No, it's about 45 minutes.
Oh, 45 minutes?
Yeah, but still,
it's a long way in Texas.
it's longer. It's a longer distance than Hobby.
Yeah.
So imagine, okay, from Hobby, it takes you 30 minutes to get to the port. So imagine going to George Bush International, and how long that's going to take. It's going to take you about a good hour and a half from there to the ship.
Depending on traffic, too.
Yeah, depending on traffic, yes.
So they were wondering if they should rent a car, what should they do? But come to find out, Carnival actually will shuttle you from the airport. And if you're at George Bush International Airport, a one-way fee of $46.99 can get you from the airport all the way to Galveston Port. But the only thing about that is your flight has to be within a certain time. So you have to check Carnival website to find out if your flight is within that time. And the same thing goes for Hobby International Airport. But if you do need their service, you do also have to do it 2 days prior to your cruise before it leaves. So you're going to have to call in. I don't think they may have it also online, but I know for a fact you have to call in and let them know 2 days ahead of time, because they're going to want to know your flight number, you know, where you're flying in at. They want to know all your information to make sure that they actually get you. And not only do they do shuttle, but they also do private cars, which is a little bit more pricey. On there you have to call to find out, because prices may vary. So it just depends on where you're at.
And you might, I'm sorry, I'm apologizing.
No, go ahead.
So you might want to do the private car, because sometimes you don't want to be packed full of, you know, a whole bunch of people. So, you know what I'm saying, a good suggestion, I mean, if you want to do the private car, you know what I'm saying, it just be your group, you know, or just you, or even if, you know, it's just you and your spouse, you know, on a trip together. You know, y'all just want to be alone. Yeah. Private, I've been doing a private shuttle service, may be better, you know.
And I almost left out the price if you were to go fly in at Hobby. Hobby is a little bit cheaper because like we talked about earlier, because it tends to be a little bit closer. Hobby is $36.99, and this is one way, and this is per person. So let me make sure I said that again. This is one way per person, but you don't have no hassle free. You get off your plane, your shuttle or your private car is waiting for you, and straight to the port. And that's what I really like that. Sometimes you just, who wants to drive after a long flight anyways?
Right, especially if you're having a good time when you get off the boat. You know, you don't want to be driving or saying taking a cab or Uber or any of those other little transportation spots.
I was gonna say, yeah, you have many other options, but Carnival does offer transportation.
I'm gonna tell you why this is good. This last cruise we went on, a friend of mine's experience, he really did, it was 4 of them, and they came in a compact car. Now, think about that. Compact car, and each one of them had 1 luggage each. You know what I'm saying? So where they had to lap the luggage and different stuff like that. So taking Uber or taking a Lyft or something like that, or those other type of transportation, you want to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Using that, because
you want to make sure you get to your boat on time. And on top of the fact, they're way more pricey. I'm just gonna let you know, because I did do what it would cost from Hobby to Galveston Port with an Uber, and it was at least $85, and that's just one way. So
that's about
you can weigh it out for yourself, but definitely if it was me, I would definitely use Carnival transportation.
Yeah, mind you, it's Carnival, so they're gonna make sure they get you there. You know what I'm saying? Gonna get you there on time. They go, so they want to make sure they get you there. They want you to spend that money, but hey, it's good to have that service. Especially if you're coming from the airport and they already set it up for you, because they might have several other people, getting off too. So they're all gonna be getting on the same shuttle with you.
There's nothing like staying at a hotel the night before a cruise, because you can meet up with everybody and party and have a good time, but you still need transportation from your hotel to the cruise port. So do they offer it? There are many hotels that do offer transportation from their hotel. They'll shuttle you in to the cruise port, and some may not. So it just varies, and you will have to definitely call in to make sure, because that's the whole reason why you're flying in and you're staying at a hotel. You want to have a good time. You don't want to mess nothing up or miss nothing.
Yeah, you want a hassle-free trip. Also, too, what you want to do, like some people have asked us, well, can we leave our car at the hotel? Well, what you want to do is ask the hotel that you're staying at, because some do. But in advance, when you're booking your hotel, make sure you ask them ahead of time, can you leave your rental-car at the hotel for those days that you're going to be on the ship? Because more likely, they have a shuttle that can pick you up just as well as drop you off. You know what I'm saying? So see how that is? And it might be free. I know one person, they went to a hotel, and because they stayed there at the hotel, it was free, and the parking was free. So, you know what I'm saying, you want to save some money, that's one way to go about doing that.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
So you're watching Sean and Casey, and we on vacay mode. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe below.
And if y'all have any questions, definitely leave a comment, and we'll get back with you. See you next video. Let's go.